Audible, no, Dushank?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we had already started with the lesson backup and recovery. We had already seen that what does a backup mean, that it is nothing but taking a copy of your original data, so that in case even if your original data is lost, we can recover and restore that data from the backup that we have taken. So backup is nothing but a two-step procedure, that is recovery and then restoring it. Then we had seen what do we mean by archiving. So archiving is also a process of keeping a record or storing a record, but it is keeping all those records which are not actively used. That means they are not recently being used or most commonly being used, or if they are not used regularly, we call such kind of data as a archive data. So we consider backup as a active data and we consider archiving as a inactive data. Again, in archiving, the data can be in the form of files, folders, or documents, and let it be a backup also. Again, that backup can be of any document, of any files, of any folders. So the data doesn't change. Data can be same in both archiving and in backup also, but the meaning of both is different. Then we had seen the difference that in backup the original data is at one place and the backup is in some another place, whereas what do we do in archiving is we move the data from its original place to some another location. Then we say that backup data constantly keeps on changing, whereas archiving data does not keep changing as regularly as your backup. Then data retention policy. You periodically delete or overwrite the data if it is backup. That means you keep on adding, you keep on modifying, you keep on deleting. Whereas in archiving, we generally do not do. Once if it is created, we keep it as it is. Then last is a type of storage. One backup is the hot storage and the archiving is called as the cold storage. Now we had seen the difference that hot storage is somewhere near to the computer, which means nothing but inside the computer, like on the hard disk or on the different partition of the hard disk. Whereas if it is archive, it can be on a cloud, which can be accessible from anywhere. But now if we talk, we can have backup also on the cloud, we can have archive also on the cloud, we can have backup also on our hard disk, on some external hard disk or on the pen drive, whereas we can have archive also on our internal hard disk or on some external hard disk or any of the external secondary storage. Then we had seen the archiving options, that is apart from cloud storage, we can store the data in the magnetic tape if it is a very small data. We can also store it in the hard disk if the data is little large. Apart from this, we can also store it in CDs, pen drives, DVDs, floppy disk, whichever storage medium you want to use. Archive data can be stored into any of the storage medium. Then we had seen what are the qualities of the good backup. So we had understood that we should have a good amount of storage space. So if my data is, say, suppose of 2 GB, and if my hard disk is only of 1 GB, that means I cannot take a backup. I can take a backup, but it won't be a complete backup. It will be only amount of data which satisfies the 1 GB requirement. Okay, the other 1 GB, I have to do it on some another storage or I have to find some another medium. So I should always have a good space for storing my data. Then we had also seen that my data storage should be scalable. That means it should be always little more than what amount of data I am taking the backup of. Then third is high availability. High availability means the data should be made available as and when it is required. So if I want at this moment and if it is not on the cloud and somewhere on the disk and disk is at some another place, that means even if I have a backup but I cannot use it at a right time. That is what is called as inavailability of the data. But if it is available at whatever time I want, it is considered to be as highly available. Then we had seen disaster recovery. That means if we should always keep a backup of backup. That means original data is in D drive. I have my backup stored into some external drive. I can also have an option of storing that backup into some pen drive or some on somewhere on the cloud, so that even if the original is lost, I have two backups from where I can recover. Then if I'm securing my original data, I should see to it my backup is also secured in the same way. as I have provided security to the original data. Then I have to decide that how frequently I should take a backup. That means I have to make a schedule that if the data is very important, I may take on a daily basis, or if it is not that important, I may take once in a month, twice in a month. So I have to make a schedule of backup, or I have to make a plan that what kind of backup is to be done on what type of data. Then we had seen volume, coverage, separation, and testing. Separation was that your backup should be on different places. Everything should not be on the same place, because if that original is lost, backup will also get lost. Even if you have backup of backup, that will also get lost. So you should have different mediums on which your backup is being stored. Then we had also seen what is testing. Testing means your once you have taken the backup, you should go and see whether the backup is being happened completely or not. So in case you have to just go and test कि अगर चार files थी तो चार की चार files का backup हुआ है क्या. So even if one is not happened, you can just see, you can test it. I had given a backup for 4 files and only 3 have been done up till now. So you have to keep on testing the backup copy also once you have taken the backup. So if we follow all this, we say that whatever backup we have done is of a good quality. Then we had seen that there are different commands through which we can take a backup. So first was a copy command, where we use CP to copy the file from one place to another place. So we specify the file name and we specify where we want to copy the destination, where we want to copy that particular file. Then if I want that file should preserve all its properties, say suppose if the property was only read and write, and if I want to preserve that property as it is even after copying or even after taking the backup, I can do that also by using an hyphen P or an option P. So if I use copy with option P, whatever file I copy in the destination and whatever properties that original file was having, it will preserve the same properties of the backup file taken at the destination. Then we had seen tar command, where tar stands for tape archive. So by using this command, I am compressing and uncompressing the files and folders. So we had seen that there are different options of tar command. Hyphen C or option C is used for creating the archive. X is used to extract the archive. So I compress it by using C and I extract it or uncompress or unzip by using X. Then if I use an option F, I am allowed to specify the file name or the name of the tar or compressed or uncompressed file. So if I want to give a name to my compressed file, I have to use this F option. Then T is used to display the contents after it is been compressed. Then B gives you a verbose information. Now what is that verbose information? As soon as you give a command, tar cvf tar1 test1.tar test1.text like this. So whatever test1.tar contains, all that information will be shown if you use this option hyphen B. Then we along with this tar, we have other two options or other two utilities called as gzip and bzip. So we have separate commands for gzip and bzip, but if we want to use this compression, with the tar, we can use the option Z and J. Okay, so we can use the command gzip and zip the file, or we can use the command tar with hyphen Z to zip the file by using this gzip utility. Same, if with the tar I use command hyphen J, it will zip the file by using the utility called as bzip. So there are two options. Either I can zip the file by using three commands, which are those tar, zip, gzip and bzip. If I do not want to use this gzip and bzip separately, I can combine them with tar. So when I combine them with tar, I use an option hyphen Z and hyphen J. Okay. Then we had seen that how do we create a tar file or how do we compress or zip a tar file. We write tar CVF. What is that CVF? C will create a file with the option F with what name? Test.tar. What will this test.tar compression contain? It will contain two files. Which two files? Test1.txt and test4.txt. So these two files are now compressed and they are named with a compression called as test.tar. So when I enter, what will I get to see? Test.tar will be shown to you. Why it will be shown to you? Because you have used this v verbose. So if you use v, it will show you in the option, or it will show you immediately after you press enter, that test.tar is created. And then you can use ls command, that is listing command, to see in the list whether this file is created or not. Now, if you do not use this v, it doesn't mean that this file will not get created. It will just not show you immediately after enter that file is created. You have to use ls and see that the file is created or not. So that is a difference. अगर आपने v यूज किया तो आपको इमीडिएटली पता चल जाएगा कि फाइल बनी है या नहीं. आपको ls यूज करने की जरूरत नहीं है. But if you skip that v verbose information, you have to type ls command and see whether the file is compressed or not. Now, what is tar used for? It is used for compression and uncompression, that is zipping and unzipping. So instead of extension .tar, I had also told you that we can use a command .zip. So when I say test.zip of test1 and test4 file, so these two files are now zipped with a file called as test.zip. So when you open or when you uncompress test.zip, which are the two files that you will find inside it, is test1 and test4. Then we had seen that if you want to compress a similar type of files, you make use of star followed by the file extensions that you want to compress. So if I say star.c, all the C files will be compressed with a file called as, or with a name called as file.tar. If you want to zip them, you can use file.zip. So all your C files will be zipped with a name called as file.zip. If you want to compress all the text files, you will replace the .c with .txt. So all of the text files will get zipped. Okay. Then we had seen how do we view the contents of the file. So we have already zipped the files over here, like file.tar is zipped, which contains all the C files. Test.tar is zipped, which contains test1 and test4. So now if I want to see what does test.tar contains, does it actually have test1 and test4 or not? If I want to see what does file.tar contains, so if I want to see actually में उसके अंदर सारे C files है क्या? So how do I see? I see by using the option called as T. So if you see in the list over here, T is used to display or list the files which are archived. So if you want to see what all is archived, I will just type tar tvf test.tar. So when I do this, what it will show me, test.tar contains test1.txt and test4.txt. If I replace test.tar with file.tar, what it will show me? It will show me 1.c, 2.c, addition.c, subtraction.c. Whatever C files I have, it will show me all the C files. So if you view the contents, or if you want to view the contents of the tar file, or if you want to list them, you can use an option T. Okay, you have to replace C. Why? Because C is used for creating. Already the file is created. Now you just want to see them. So for viewing, you will use T. Okay. Again, if you skip V over here and if you use only TF, still your command will be executed. But you then have to do ls and see whether it is unzipped properly, whether you can view the contents properly or not. Okay. Then in the cp command, we saw something called as option P, which was used for preserving the permissions. So same permissions, if you want to preserve for your tar file from the original file, you can do that also. So I have test1.txt file created. I want to zip this file. So if the zip name of this file will be test1.tar. So whatever your test1 has, say suppose read, write, execute. If I want to preserve read, write, execute as it is, what I have to use is I will use cvpf. So C will create the file, tar file, F with a file name test1.tar. V will use to show you the verbose information, and P will preserve the properties of read, write, execute as it is. So before you execute this command, you will check what are the properties of test1.txt, and after you execute this command, you will check the properties of test1.tar. If both the properties are same, means what? The permissions and the properties are reserved. Why they are reserved or why they are kept same? Because you have used an option P. Okay. Then we had, did we see how to extract? Did we see that day how to extract? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, extraction देखा था क्या उस दिन? Anybody remembers?
No, ma'am.
चलो ठीक है. So now we have seen that create तो हमने कर दिया tar file. That means we have compressed the files. Now if we want to uncompress or unzip them, what we have to use? We have to use -x. So X is used to extract the archive whichever is created by using an -c. So we have to replace C with X for extraction. I think we had seen this. Let us revise. So extraction of the files, of the archive files can be done by using an option X. So C is now replaced with X. So when I say tar xvf file.tar, what was file.tar having? File.tar was having all the compressed files ऑफ सी, है ना. सी के सारे फाइल्स को कंप्रेस कर दिया था फाइल डॉट टार में. अभी हमको उसको अनजिप या अनकंप्रेस करना है. सो व्हाट आई विल राइट इज आई विल राइट टार एक्सवीएफ फाइल डॉट टार. तो फाइल डॉट टार में जो भी ये फाइल्स थी डॉट सी वाली, दे आर नाउ अनकंप्रेस्ड एंड दे विल नाउ एक्ट एज अ इंडिविजुअल फाइल्स. So we use this X for extracting or unzipping. Similarly, if I replace file.tar with say suppose test1.tar, so what will happen? Test1.tar contains test1.txt which was zipped. Now when I extract it by using xvf test1.tar, it will now consider test1.txt as an individual file and not a part of test1.tar. Okay, so this is how we extract the files. Am I clear up till here? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am.
So we have seen how to create, extract, how to specify the file name, how to view or how to list the files which are archived, how to view the verbose information. So with this we have completed individual tar command. Now we will see that how I can use this gzip and bzip2 command along with tar for compressing it in a gzip format and a bzip2 format. So what I will do is I will replace these options now with Z and J. Let us see what happens. So when I say tar czf test.tar.gz, gz is what? It is a utility like tar which is used for compressing the files. Okay, gzip का extension क्या है? Gzip का extension is gz. ठीक है? So when I use z with tar command, it will zip the file or it will compress the file not with extension .tar but with an extension .gz. Okay, so .tar.gz, that means you have zipped the tar file into a compression or using a compression tool called gz or gzip compression tool. So Z is used or a Z option is used along with tar command to zip these files into which compression technique or into which type of utility the gz utility is used. Okay, so extension will be gz. So what is happening? test2.txt and test4 file, ये दोनों भी are zipped now. In which tool or in which compression tool? Compression tool called as gz but not tar. ठीक है? डॉट टार क्यों आएगा? बिकॉज वी आर यूजिंग एन ऑप्शन ऑफ टार, इसलिए डॉट टार डॉट जीजेड. ठीक है, अगर सिर्फ gzip यूज करते, टार के जगह gzip यूज करते तो हम एक्सटेंशन को gzip बोलते थे. बट अभी हम क्या कर रहे हैं? z के साथ, z किसका ऑप्शन है? टार का. So it is going to zip a file not with .tar extension but with the extension .gz. Okay, so dot extension gz means it is zipped the file using a gzip utility but with the help of a tar command. And which option of tar command? The z option of tar command. Okay, this is similar to dot tar. test2.txt and test4.txt अगर आप gz हटा दोगे और सिर्फ test.tar करोगे तो क्या हो जाएगा? test.tar जो zip फाइल है उसके अंदर क्या है? test2.test4 है. Similarly, if I just add .gz, gz is also a second utility which is used for compressing the files inside your Ubuntu. So tar, gz and bz2, all the three does only one work. What is that work? Compression and uncompression. Out of all the three, gz is not that commonly used because the features of bz2 and tar are much better. ठीक है, तो तीनों एक ही काम करता है, बट सिंस द फीचर्स ऑफ bzip and tar are better, therefore we do not use gz, we use either bzip or we use either tar. ठीक है, so your compression gz can be used with tar also, and it can be used with another command also, that is gzip. We will see that. Is this clear up till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, तो हमने क्या देखा, if I use z I can compress the file using gzip, but if I use j I can compress the file using the utility tool called as bzip tool. So when I say it should be b, हाँ by mistake ये g हो गया है, it should be b. So when I use tar cjf test.tar.bz2 test2.txt test4.txt, which means what, test2 file and test4 file is now compressed by using a utility bzip inside the command tar. Why inside the command tar? Because you have used tar with option J. तो इसका आउटपुट क्या आएगा, test.tar.bz2. I write it in the chat box, the exact command, since I have made a mistake over here. It is star cjf. J क्या करेगा, it will zip the file in which utility, in the bzip2 utility. Okay, which is the file name that I have given. It is test.tar.bz2. This test.tar.bz2 will contain which file? It will contain test2.txt file and test4.txt file. This is a command. Now when I check the output, what will happen after doing ls? I will get to see an output as test.tar.bz2. Okay, this is the output that I'll get to see, which means your test file is now being compressed by using the bzip utility tool inside the tar command. Why inside the tar command? Because we have used this j option. Okay, so z is for gz and j is for bz. Is this understood up till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Our lecture. Okay, understood up till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, if I have compressed this file, say suppose CZF, I have compressed the file test.tar by using GZ. अगर यही फाइल को extract करना है, so can I replace this C with X? Yes? Yes or no? हमने
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, हमने क्रिएट करने के लिए सी यूज किया, तो हमने उसका जिप फाइल क्रिएट कर लिया .gz के साथ. अभी मुझे tar.gz फाइल को एक्सट्रैक्ट करना है, तो व्हाट आई विल डू इज आई विल सिंपली रिप्लेस द सी विद x, and I do not have to mention these files. I simply have to write tar. I'll write it in the chat box. Tar xzf, and if I write test.tar.gz, what it will do is it will unzip all the files which are there inside test.tar.gz. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I have already created a gz zip file by using a name called as file.tar.gz. So if I want to extract, I will replace x with c. If I write v, it will give me verbose information. If I do not write, or simply if I write czf, still it will extract and show me the extracted files. Clear up till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Whatever you had zipped over here can be unzipped or can be extracted by replacing C with X. Now again, if it is extraction by BZ2, so if I replace the C with X, XJF test.tar.bz2, what will happen? It will unzip all the files which belong to test.tar.bz2. Okay? Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now we see the same commands which can be used by using gzip. ठीक है, तो हम अभी gzip कैसे करते थे? By using tar.gz, है ना? I have written in the chat box. We were zipping the files by using a gzip utility with an extension .gz by using a tar command. and along with tar command we were using an option Z. अभी अगर मुझे tar command नहीं use करना है, but I still want to zip the file using gzip utility. So what I can do is I can do that by simply replacing tar command with gzip command. Can you see the first command? Can you see that? Gzip test.txt.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So when I write gzip test.txt, what it will do is it will zip the file test.txt with what name? Same name, test.txt .gz extension. Q? Because if I am zipping the file by using gzip utility, the extension is .gz. Are you understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
The difference पहले क्या
Yes,
होता था test.tar.gz. tar क्यों आता था? Because हम tar का z option use करते थे. यहाँ पे tar क्यों नहीं आएगा? Because I am directly using the gzip command. So when I use gzip test.tar, it will zip the file. Which file? Test.txt file. With what extension? .gz extension. अभी इसके बाद अगर आप ls करोगे तो आपको क्या आउटपुट में आएगा? test.txt.gz. मतलब आपकी टेस्ट फाइल जिप हो चुकी है. कौन से फॉर्मेट में? gz फॉर्मेट में. अंडरस्टैंडिंग?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes,
from
yes.
the output also you can make out कि आपने gz कमांड यूज किया है कि tar.gz कमांड यूज किया है. अगर आउटपुट में आपको text.tar.gz आया, that means you have zipped using gzip utility by using tar command. But अगर test.text.gz आया, तो that means what? You have not used tar command, but you have simply used a gzip tool for compressing the file. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now this was only one file. If I want several files, what will I write? Simply gzip text1.txt, test2.txt. So it will convert this file into a gzip format, that is test1.text.gz, text2.text.gz. तो दोनों फाइल को उसने zip कर दिया with an extension gz. Understanding?
Yes,
If I
ma'am.
want to zip
Yes,
all,
ma'am.
like in the tar, if I want to zip all the C files, all the text files, or any similar type of files together, I could do that. Same I could do in gzip also. What will I write? I will replace tar with gzip. Gzip star.txt. So what it will do? It will convert all the text file into the zip format by using an extension gz. तो अगर आपके पास 5 फाइल है 1 2 3 4 5, so it will have 1.txt.gz, 2.txt.gz, 3.txt.gz and so on. Understood? And the last is what way if I want to view the content or list the archived files. What I was doing in tar, I was using tvf option. Correct? T was used for viewing. Here, if it is gzip command, I use zcat. Zcat text.txt.gz. What it will show me? It will show me the file test.txt. Why? Because test.txt is zipped and it is now with the name test.txt.gz. तो अगर मुझे देखना है ये फाइल के अंदर क्या है, so what I will write is I will simply write zcat and the name of that file test.txt.gz. So what it will show me? Test.txt.gz contains test, that is test.text. Understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is all about your gzip command. But हमने क्या किया gzip use करके? Did we uncompress or did we only compressed?
Just compress.
Yes, we have just compressed. But हम tar में क्या करते थे? CZ use करके compress करते थे और XZ use करके uncompress करते थे. Correct? I repeat.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ.
Yes, ma'am.
With the tar option, if I use CZ, I was compressing, and when I use XZ, I was uncompressing. But here, what we have done over here is हमने सिर्फ compress किया है using gzip. अभी मुझे uncompress करना है. So what will I do is I will use gunzip. Okay, so gunzip command is used for uncompressing or unzipping all the files which are zipped over here. Okay, so instead of gzip, what will I write? I will simply write gunzip. So when I say gunzip test.txt.gz, what it will do? It will uncompress the file test.txt. When I say gunzip test1.txt.gz, it will uncompress the file test1. When I say gunzip test2.txt.gz, it will uncompress the file test2. तो जब भी फाइल जिप हुई तभी उसका नाम test1.txt.gz था. जब आप गनजिप करोगे तो आपके लिस्ट में से text.gz फाइल निकल जाएगी और सिर्फ test1.txt फाइल बचेगी. क्यों? क्योंकि आपने पहले उसको जिप कर दिया इसलिए वो gz हो गई. अभी जब आप अनजिप कर दोगे तो वो जैसे था test1.txt वैसे एज इट इज आपको मिलेगा. अंडरस्टैंडिंग?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so
Yes,
gzip,
ma'am.
gzip is used to zip or compress the files, and if you want to uncompress or unzip, you are supposed to use the command gunzip. Am I clear up till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Abhi, can we use bzip2 command with tar?
Yes, ma'am.
क्या ऑप्शन था? cj for creating and xj for extracting. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Abhi, instead of using tar with cj and tar with xj, we can simply use bzip2 command for compressing in a utility called as bzip2. So how is the command? bzip2 test.txt. तो ये क्या हो जाएगा? test.txt file will get compressed. But with what extension? .bz2 extension. Why .bz2 extension? Because we have used bzip2 utility. Okay. So this is also a type of compression technique where you write bzip2 text.txt. So whatever you mention over here, that file will get compressed using this particular utility. Okay. If I want to view this file, that is a compressed file, how can I view? I have to use bzcat. Okay. Zcat was for gzip, but b लगा दोगे तो वो हो जाएगा for bzip2. ठीक है. So bzcat test.txt.bz2 will allow you to view what? It will allow you to view the contents of this file test.txt.bz2. बहुत सारे फाइल्स को जिप करना है using bzip2 is how you can do that? bzip2 file1, file2, file3, file4 and so on. As soon as you press enter, it will show you that test1.txt.bz2 is compressed. test2.txt.bz2 is also compressed. test3.txt.bz3 is also compressed. Okay. So both for gzip and bzip2, it is everything is same. Just you replace gzip with bzip2. Extension will be .gz over there. Here it will be .bz2. Okay. Have we uncompressed the file over here?
No, ma'am.
No. So to uncompress, what do we use? We use a command bunzip2. Okay. Bunzip for gzip utility and bunzip2 for bzip2 utility. Understanding? So when I say bunzip2 test1.text.bz2, it will convert this file as test1.text. Why? Because previously it is zipped, and now by using bunzip, I am unzipping and making the file as it is, that is test1.txt.
Ma'am, also when we zip a file using gzip or bzip2, the
हाँ.
original file will disappear.
Yes, yes. When I say text1.text.bz2, अगर यहाँ पे bzip होता तो क्या होती? test1 कन्वर्ट हो जाती .bz2 में. बट जब मैं अनजिप करूंगी तो bz2 से वो ओरिजिनल टेक्स्ट फाइल में आ जाएगी. ऐसे. Understood?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So are these commands understood? Tar, gzip and bunzip. Gzip, sorry, not bunzip. Understood up till here?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, so by using tar command, I can compress and uncompress the files. By using gzip and gunzip command, I can compress and uncompress the file. By using bzip2 and bunzip command, I can compress and uncompress the files. Out of all three, so since the features of tar and bzip are better, therefore they are most commonly being used. Okay. Now we'll see next is how do we back up the entire Linux system by using the rsync command. So we suppose if I have more files in my system and I find it difficult for taking a backup of each and every file, I want to take a backup of everything which is there in my system. So what I will do is I will not keep on using this tar command or copy command or gzip command or unzip commands for creating the zipping and then extracting and doing all. I will simply use one command, that is rsync command. What will that command do? Whatever your Linux system has, all files, all folders, all documents, it will take a backup of everything inside it. Okay. So if I want to take the backup of entire system, instead of using individual separate commands, I can only use this rsync command. Okay. You insert, what you do first is you insert your backup media. Okay, let it be a pen drive, let it be a hard disk, CD, whatever you want to take a backup, you insert that particular storage. Then find the drive letter using fdisk-l command. ठीक है, वो जो आपने डिस्क इंसर्ट किया है या पेन ड्राइव इंसर्ट किया है उसका लेटर क्या है, ड्राइव लेटर क्या है, you have to find out that. So how will you find out that? You will find out by using fdisk-l option. Suppose if a pen drive is inserted, for example, so what will be the ID of the pen drive? It will be /dev/sdb1. ये नाम कहाँ से आया आपको? After you do fdisk-l. Sorry. Okay, after you do fdisk-l, you will come to know that whatever you have inserted, what is the letter of that particular thing or what is the path of that particular thing. Now what you have to do is, after finding this, you have to mount your drive to any location of your choice. That means you have to mount it. Where you will mount, you may choose this directory called as /mnt, which already exists in your Linux. So you have to mount that particular thing on any directory. Where it has been mounted to /mnt. You can replace it to we cannot have /dev because backup and original एक ही जगह पे रहेगा, so it is not fruitful. So we can have it in /etc, we can have it in /bin. If you want it on home, you can have /home. So this can be on any directory. So it has chosen to be on the mount directory. So what do we write is sudo mount /dev/sdb1/mnt, which means what? Pen drive में जो भी जाएगा, that will be mounted on which directory? On /mnt directory. Okay. Now what I will use is, I will use this rsync command to take the backup of the entire system. So to back up the entire system, you have to open your terminal, that is open your command prompt of Ubuntu and execute this command. What will this command include? Sudo rsync. Why rsync? Because using this command, I am taking the backup. -a, capital X, V, / exclude everything, whatever is written. Device directory, proc directory, sys directory, tmp directory, run directory, mount directory, media directory, lost plus found directory. And copy everything into this mount. That is your new mount. Okay. So this command will back up the entire root. Entire root directory will be backup, excluding whatever is written over here. Okay. This is again optional. Abhi, what is this command doing? It is taking entire Linux system ka data as a backup, but it is not considering these devices. But if you want, you will replace this exclude. आप exclude लिखोगे ही नहीं. आप क्या लिखोगे? Sudo rsync -a axv / directly mount. तो वो क्या करेगा?
माउंट डायरेक्टली को तो एक्सक्लूड करना ही पड़ेगा, नहीं तो वो लूप में नहीं चला जाएगा, क्योंकि वो माउंट में ही बैकअप और फिर से वो माउंट को बैकअप करेगा तो वो
नहीं, सुनो, ये क्या कर रहा है, आपका पेन ड्राइव जो है उसका लेटर क्या है, ये है. तो वो क्या कर रहा है, ये लेटर को माउंट डायरेक्टरी में माउंट कर रहा है फॉर कॉपिंग द डेटा. सी व्हाट आर वी, व्हाई डू वी यूज माउंट? वी यूज माउंट फॉर स्टोरिंग द डेटा और एक्सेसिंग द डेटा. अभी क्या है, अभी ये पेन ड्राइव जो मैंने माउंट किया है वो खाली है. मुझे वो पेन ड्राइव में क्या डालना है? यूजिंग दिस कमांड आई वांट टू पुट एवरीथिंग. तो अगर आपको माउंट एक्सक्लूड करोगे तो जो माउंट में ऑलरेडी है वो आपके नए माउंट में नहीं आएगा. बट अगर आप एक्सक्लूड नहीं करते हो तो जो वो माउंट में है वो भी ये माउंट में आ जाएगा. आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग?
मैम लेकिन माउंट में अभी अगर पेन ड्राइव माउंटेड है,
हाँ,
तो फिर वो पेन ड्राइव का भी डेटा जो वापस उसमें बैकअप हो रहा है वो फिर से उसको बैकअप करते जाएगा.
नहीं करेगा ना, क्योंकि मैंने यहाँ पे क्या लिखा है, मैंने वो डिवाइस का नाम लिखा है. अगर मैं सिर्फ यहाँ पे लिखती sudo mount /mnt, तो वो ये गड़बड़ करता है जो आप बोल रहे हो, बट मैंने उसको स्पेसिफाई किया है ना कि कौन सा चीज आपको किस में डालना है. आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग? एम आई ऑडिबल?
यस मैम.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, समझ रहे हो क्या आप? अगर मैं ये नाम नहीं दे, मैंने ये नाम क्यों दिया? टू जस्ट मेक द थिंग क्लियर दैट दिस इज अ न्यू थिंग दैट आई एम माउंटिंग, एंड वॉट एवर इज गोइंग टू हैपन बाई यूजिंग आर सिंक, जो भी आप बैकअप करोगे वो सब कुछ आना चाहिए ये नए माउंट प्लेस पे. कौन सा है वो नया माउंट प्लेस? /dev/sdb. तो ये माउंट, सॉरी, ये जो माउंट है ना, ये माउंट में फिलहाल क्या है? इट इज ओनली दिस डिवाइस. एंड थ्रू दिस कमांड आई हैव मेड इट क्लियर कि ये माउंट में सिर्फ यही डिवाइस है अभी. अंडरस्टैंडिंग?
यस मैम.
Okay, so what is rsync? It is a command which is used for copying all the contents. अब ये AAXV, what is this? The files are transferred in an archive mode, which ensures the device's permission, ownership, modification, everything is preserved. So by using this command, what I'm doing, अगर मैंने डिवाइस डायरेक्टरी कॉपी किया है तो वो डिवाइस डायरेक्टरी के अंदर 5 फाइल्स है, और अगर वो 5 फाइल्स की प्रॉपर्टी है रीड राइट एग्जीक्यूट, ओनली राइट, सो आई एम गोइंग टू कॉपी एवरीथिंग इन द बैकअप एज इट इज. Okay, so it is preserving all the ownership, all the permissions, whatever modifications are done, whatever timing, at whatever time it was created, everything will be copied as it is. Okay, what is this ACL? Any idea to anybody?
एक्सेस कंट्रोल लिमिट्स.
हाँ, एक्सेस कंट्रोल लिस्ट और लिमिट. ओके, क्या है वो एक्सेस कंट्रोल लिस्ट और लिमिट? इट इज एक्चुअली एक्सेस कंट्रोल लिस्ट, ACL. Access control list means what? How you are accessing the control of the file. So ये read write, access, execute, ये सब क्या है? You are limiting a particular user by giving this access control. So if I say read means what? My control is limited or my access is limited only till read. If I say read write, my access is limited till read and write. When I say read write execute, my access is restricted till read write and execute. So we prepare a list or a table, that is ACL table, and we mention file 1 RWX. तो R tick W tick X cross, मतलब क्या है? सिर्फ read और write ऐसा. Okay, that is what is access control list. What is this /? Taking everything entire of root, entire from root, from the source till the destination mount. Clear? And exclude means it will remove whatever you have mentioned over here. That means उसमें का जो भी है वो बैकअप नहीं होगा, उसको छोड़ के जो भी है आपके सिस्टम में सब कुछ होगा. So that exclude is option. Clear up till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we have a rule or a backup rule called as 3-2-1. Any idea from whatever is written? 3 copies of data, 2 copy of backup medium, 1 copy of data offsite. मतलब क्या? 3-2-1 rule.
मैम,
हाँ,
3 बार डेटा को कॉपी करने का, 2 बार बैकअप लेने का और 1 बार
3 बार कॉपी करने का.
3 बार डेटा को कॉपी करने का, 3 बार
3 बार कॉपी करने का कि 3 कॉपी बनाने की?
3 कॉपी बनाने की, 2
हाँ.
2 कॉपी बैकअप करने का मीडियम का और 1 कॉपी डेटा ऑफसेट का.
So 3 means what? You have to make 3 copies of data. 1 will be original, other 2 will be backup. Why other 2 will be backup? Because we have just learned that if I want to have a good quality of a backup, I should have a disaster recovery. Backup का भी backup होना चाहिए. So 3 में क्या आ गया? एक तो original है, एक आपका backup है और दूसरा एक और backup disaster recovery के लिए. उसमें से 2 copy of backup should be on medium. On medium means on the system. तो एक original आपके system में है, दूसरा आप external hard disk में डालो, CD में डालो, pen drive में डालो, किधर भी डालो. And 1 copy of a data offsite. Offsite means it should be on the cloud also. Okay. So 3-2-1 rule says what? You have to take 3 copy of a data. 1 is original, 2 is backup. See to it that 2 you keep it on the on some medium, like it is 1 on the system as original, one on the hard disk, pen drive, something like that, and one off-site. That means it may be on some cloud or maybe some another hard disk where you keep it safe in some locker off-site. ऐसा. Understanding?
Yes,
That is what is 3-2-1 backup rule. Then next we will see what are the different types of backup. One is full backup, one is incremental backup, one is differential backup, and this instead of mirror, it should be network backup. I'm writing in the chat box, it should be network backup. What are the 4 different types of backup? Full, incremental, differential, and network backup. Now, we have spoken a lot about backup, and in the first lecture I also gave you some rough idea के full backup क्या होता है, incremental backup क्या होता है, differential backup क्या होता है. Any idea what is that full backup?
Complete backup of the data.
Correct. So if I have selected कि D drive का backup लेना है, तो D drive का full backup means what? एक भी file उसमें छूटनी नहीं चाहिए. Okay, that is what is a full backup. So full backup is the starting point for all the other backup and contains all the data in the folders and files that are selected to be backup. So if I select D drive to take backup, तो अगर उसके अंदर 10 files है और 10 folders है, तो वो सारे 10 files और सारे 10 folders का backup होगा. None of them will be skipped by the system. So the process of restoring the data from the backup is much faster. Okay, what are the advantages and disadvantages? Restore is faster. Restore क्या होता है? Restore means what? That also we have learned. Restore मतलब?
Ma'am, to restore the data which is backup.
हाँ, तो
Using
मेरा
the
भी-
backup data.
हाँ, D drive का मैंने backup लिया. D drive data full हो गया. So what I will do is I will restore. From जिधर भी मैंने backup लिया है, pen drive लिया है, तो I will insert the pen drive and I will restore. So restoring fast होगा. क्यों fast होगा? Because एक बार मैंने command दे दी, whatever will be there automatically will be restored. So I will have to select 10 files, 10 folders and restore and do not have to see it again. See it again मतलब बार बार देखना नहीं पड़ेगा. File 1 हुआ क्या, 2 हुआ क्या, 3 हुआ क्या, I don't have to see that. Why? Because full backup लिया था, full restore करना है. Correct? So if it is full backup, it will be fully restored and whatever will be the restored will be having faster time as compared to some other type of backup that we see ahead. Okay. What are disadvantage? Backup will be slow. Will your backup be slow? Will your backup be slow?
Because everything is backed up.
Correct. Since each and every files, each and every folders are getting backup, so the time taken will be more in case of backup. So for the same case, will I require the storage space more?
Yes, ma'am.
क्यों? क्योंकि
Yes,
मेरा सारा डेटा कॉपी हो रहा है, तो मुझे स्टोरेज स्पेस भी ज्यादा लगेगा टू कॉपी ईच एंड एवरी फाइल एंड एवरी फोल्डर और फाइल्स इनसाइड द फोल्डर. What will be incremental backup?
Ma'am, only some part of the data will be backed up.
Correct.
That part.
Okay, so it is subsequent backups only store the changes that were made since the previous backup. तो अगर I have given you example also, Sunday को अगर मैंने full backup लिया है फाइल ABC का और वो ABC में मैं और 2 लाइन्स ऐड करती हूँ और मंडे को मैं उसका बैकअप लेती हूँ, so what will happen? It will back up everything that has changed since the last full backup. तो last full backup के बाद क्या हुआ है? सिर्फ ABC फाइल में 2 लाइन्स चेंज हुई है, तो वो XYZ, PQR, LMN ये सब फाइल्स लेगा क्या? नहीं, वो सिर्फ कौन सी फाइल लेगा? ABC फाइल. क्यों? क्योंकि फुल बैकअप में से ABC फाइल को ही हाथ लगाया है और वही फाइल में चेंजेस हुआ है. So whatever is backup, everything after the last full backup has been taken, only those changes will be made in your incremental backup. Understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
So incremental backup reduces the time and the network bandwidth required in the comparison to full backup. Yes or no? Incremental backup time कम लगेगा.
Yes, ma'am.
क्यों? क्योंकि सिर्फ ABC हो रहा है कॉपी. PQR, LMN, XYZ not required, not done. Will it take less bandwidth? Yes. अगर मैं किधर सर्वर पे स्टोर कर रही हूँ या वाया नेटवर्क किसी और सिस्टम पे डाल रही हूँ वो बैकअप, so So is it going to take less time? Yes, it is going to utilize a less network bandwidth. Why? Because only a file or a part of a folder is getting changed and only that much is getting backed up. Again, advantage, backup will be faster. Storage space requirement will also be less. Yes, why it will be less? Because full backup तो already एक जगह पे है. Incremental backup मतलब जो change हुआ है उस उतने part को ही मैं backup ले रही हूँ. तो all the space that I will require for that part will always be less in comparison to full backup. Okay. Why restore will be slow? Any idea why restore will be slow?
Because it will need to apply the patch created in the incremental backup.
It needs to create.
It needs to apply the patch.
What is that patch?
Created in the incremental backup.
Nee, I
First, the
didn't.
backup needs to be the full backup needs to be restored, and then the incremental
Then
backup.
correct. So when I restore this incremental backup, क्या होगा? वो खाली उतना ही फाइल कॉपी नहीं होगा जो आपने बैकअप में लिया है, क्योंकि उतना ही फाइल कॉपी होगा और अगर आपको बाकी के फाइल्स लगेंगे तो व्हाट यू विल डू? यू हैव टू ब्रिंग दैट आल्सो. So when you restore, what is going to happen? First, full backup will be restored, and then whatever was incremented, that will be restored. Therefore, the time taken will be more. Okay? Because वो क्या करेगा? Full backup लेगा पहले और वापस जाके चेक करेगा is anything additional left for incremental also. If that is left, it will again restore that thing also. So दो टाइम रिस्टोरिंग होगा, जबकि फुल बैकअप में ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. जो हुआ वो पूरा का पूरा एज इट इज कॉपी हो जाएगा. क्यों? क्योंकि चेंज हुआ ही नहीं था कुछ. Okay? What is differential backup? It is another name for incremental, and it is only backing up all those files that have changed since the last full backup. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday है suppose. Sunday full backup, Monday incremental backup. Tuesday if I do differential backup, क्या हो जाएगा? Last full backup कब हुआ? Sunday को. तो Monday को जो भी changes हुआ, Tuesday को जो भी changes हुआ, that will come in the differential backup. So it is one and the same as compared to your incremental backup. समझ रहे हो? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Again, what are the advantage? Backup is faster than full backup. Restoring is also faster. Storage space required is also less. ये सब क्या है in comparison to your full backup? What are disadvantage? Again, restore will be slow. Why? Because पहले full backup, फिर differential backup, जो increment में होता था वैसे. Storage space requirements will be higher as compared to that of incremental backup. क्योंकि increment में हम क्या किया? सिर्फ Monday का copy store किया. अभी मैं Tuesday को differential करूंगी तो मुझे Monday के copy का data का भी space लगेगा और Tuesday के copy का data का भी space लगेगा. So the space for restoring will be more when I compare this differential with incremental backup. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
What is network backup? Any idea? Network बोलेगा तो you have two machines. Which two machines? One is client and one is server. Correct? Now when will I use network backup? जब मैं client हूँ और मेरे पास backup के लिए जगह नहीं है मेरे system में. So what will I do is I will use a network backup. Whatever files I have on my system, I can store that files as a backup on the server. Send it on the server, and then server machine will keep the backup of my files in its own system. Understanding? That is what is network backup. So when I want to restore, from where I will restore? I will restore it from the server machine. Understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
That is what is network backup. So usually means backing up the client to the server. Client sends the files to the server and server writes them on the backup media. So server maybe खुद के system में store करेगा या फिर अगर external hard disk है तो वो hard disk में store करेगा. Can be any medium. Then what are the advantages and disadvantages of network type of backup. It can be deployed for on-site backup. Deployed for on-site backup means जब भी चाहिए तभी अवेलेबल रहेगा. Yes or no?
Yes.
हाँ, क्यों? क्योंकि सर्वर पे है तो you can anytime connect to the server and make that data available. It will be compatible with full incremental and differential backup. That means if it is network backup, you can perform full backup on that server machine, you can perform incremental backup also on that machine, and differential backup also on that machine. Along with that, it supports wide variety of storage medium. तो अगर सर्वर है तो ऐसे नहीं कि आप हार्ड डिस्क डाल के उसको कॉपी नहीं कर सकते हो, या क्लाउड पे नहीं डाल सकते हो, या पेन ड्राइव पे नहीं डाल सकते हो. Whatever you can do the backup on the client machine, same can be available on the server machine also. But what are the disadvantages? Since it is a network, will I have network related problems? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, बैकअप करते करते नेटवर्क चला गया तो कुछ कॉपी होगा, कुछ नहीं होगा. आई हैव टू गो एंड कीप ऑन चेकिंग. So that challenges and that problems will always be there if it is a network. Then can be costly. क्यों costly क्यों होगा? Will I be investing more in the network bandwidth?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, reliability may be dependent on network connection. तो अगर connection है तो ही मैं इसका restoring कर सकती हूँ. Network नहीं है तो I may not be able to restore at the time which I want. So will that be a problem? Reliability and availability.
Yes, ma'am.
So these are all the advantages and disadvantages of the network backup. So how do we create a plan? We are the administrator. We understand and we make a list, or what we call it as prerequisite. क्या क्या लगेगा बैकअप करने के लिए. We decide that. We make a plan कि रोज बैकअप चाहिए. ये टॉपिक है, सॉरी ये डेटा है तो उसका रोज बैकअप होगा. रोज होगा तो फुल होगा कि इंक्रीमेंटल होगा कि डिफरेंशियल होगा. So I have to make that plan. Whether I will choose manual backup or will I use some tools to perform the backup, that also I have to decide. And after I take a backup, I have to verify whether everything is backup properly and is that backup working properly. In case if there is a problem in the backup, I should be prepared for troubleshooting also. So this is what a plan is made by the administrator or by any person who is taking the backup of the files on the system. Understood up till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Then what are the mediums on which I can take the backup? Hard disk, nobody use floppy disk, CDs, DVDs, mini disk, SD cards, flash drive, SDD. So we have various mediums. On what type of data it is, we decide what medium to be selected. Understood? Yes?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Now, apart from this tools like tar and CP command, and then gzip command and bzip command, we also have other options for backing and restoring. What are those? Dump and restore. So this is also one of the command which were used previously for taking the backup, like full backup and incremental backup. So we can use dump command and restore command. Dump to take the backup and restore to restore that backup. Okay. Then we know about tar. Then we CPIO. What is that? It is used to copy CP command, like a CP command. Copy the file from its original place to the destination place. If I use -p, it will preserve the properties. And then the DD command, which is the original Unix utility used by admins for data protection. So along with tar, gzip, bzip and all, we can also use this dump restore and DD command. Understood up till here?
Yes, ma'am.
See, now these screenshots I am not going to explain you now because I will be showing you entire practical on this. जो भी commands हमने पढ़े हैं, tar with options, gzip with options, gunzip, bzip2 and bunzip, ये सबका screenshot I had shown. अभी I will show you by executing it on the terminal itself. Okay.
Ma'am, will you also show rsync?
Sorry.
Will you also show rsync?
rsync I will try. अगर होता है तो I will show you that also.
Okay, ma'am.
ठीक है. So with this we have completed chapter 4. Tomorrow I will be putting the recording of this entire experiment, कैसे execute करता है, and explain also. So you can do that at your home. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
So with this we complete chapter 4. Next lecture we start with chapter 5. ठीक है? You all can leave.
Now attendance.
I'm attendance.
Actually, I have a meeting at 11:30 and I'm already late. So I will keep the meeting on. Dishank, आप attendance ले लो, ठीक है? And give it to me.
ओके मैम।
मैम
हाँ बोलो जल्दी
वेडनेसडे को
बोलो।
कितने आने का है?
हाँ मैं ग्रुप पे डालूंगी। ओके?
Stop the recording.